thanks for tuning in to juiceplus TV. We're glad to have all of you with us tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the juiceplus Foundation and some of our partners and what we're doing. I've got Michael here with me. He definitely has a story to tell when it comes to one of our partners that's kind of near and dear to his heart. When we get started tonight, I want you to keep in mind of what we're talking about and think about ways that you can get involved with what we're doing with our mission. It's something that we're passionate about, and we're excited to tell our story a little bit more and hopefully get you just as excited. So to start off, my name is Katie Maxwell. I have been with the juiceplus company for about 5 years. It'll actually be 5 years next year. When I first joined the company, one of the things that kind of fell into my lap early on at my time here was the juiceplus Foundation. There had been some changes made in the foundation and our partners and areas where we were focusing. And it was an easy way for me to kind of get plugged in and start doing some things that could really make a difference and have big impact. So I was excited to get involved. The 10 Million Meals Initiative had just kicked off. I got to get to know all of our partners and learn more about the difference that they were making in the world and find ways to kind of plug the juiceplus company in. So it's something that has always been a part of what I do. Now I actually report up through the sales team and am able to focus a little bit more on the foundation and incorporating the foundation into our sales team and what we're doing. So that's something that's new and exciting. So, foundation. We have several partners that we work with. I'll start out with the Green Bronx Machine because that is likely one of our partners that many of you may be familiar with, may already be involved with, and in most cases you know Stephen Ritz. How can you not know Stephen Ritz? He is such a ball of energy and is doing so much all of the time, and is just, I get tired just thinking about all of the stuff that he does. So the Green Bronx Machine, basically they want to grow healthy communities. That's just kind of their vision and what they're doing, and we've partnered with them through our Tower Gardens and putting Tower Gardens into classrooms and curriculum and just kind of making a difference there. So be sure to check out Stephen Ritz and the Green Bronx Machine on social media. He's there, he's everywhere, and you can kind of keep track of all that's going on. While we're talking Tower Garden, we've also got our partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Our goal there is to put a tower garden in every Boys and Girls Club. There's a little bit of fine print. We want them to want that tower garden first and foremost. We don't want to give them a tower garden that's going to sit in a closet and not get used. But instead, we want them to put that up in their club, allow the kids to get involved and do great things with the tower. So that's kind of a little caveat that's there. The next two partners I want to talk about is through the 10 Million Meals Initiative, which I mentioned earlier. That is something that kicked off just before I started with the company, and the goal there is to donate our juiceplus Complete product, our shake mix, to those people that need it. We just want to get good nutrition in the bodies of those who need it most. We've got two organizations that we partner with for the 10 Million Meals program, and that is Volunteers of America and the Children's Hunger Fund. Children's Hunger Fund is the newest partner to the mix. They've been with us, I think, since 2017. We actually just did a great activation with them at our juiceplus Live conference in Austin a couple weeks ago. They are doing amazing things to get our product out by the truckloads to those who need it. Volunteers of America is one of our long-standing partners. We've had a relationship with them for 20 plus years, and it has varied as far as how we've supported them throughout those years. Jay is very involved in that relationship and helps kind of foster that relationship. They are doing a lot of different things across the country. All of their locations offer different services. Sometimes it's feeding those who need it. It's housing for veterans. It's a lot of just support to those that some people want to kind of turn their back on. Jay likes to say that Volunteers of America, they do the work that nobody else wants to do. And so we are happy to work with them and help support the work that they're doing across the country. And then in some ways, I think I've saved the best for last. But don't tell the other partners that I said that. It is just, 'tis the season. The St. Jude Memphis Marathon weekend is upon us. And now that conference is over, we're really focusing on the marathon. That's kind of the next big event for us that's coming up. I've been involved in the marathon actually before I started at juiceplus, so was definitely excited to see that juiceplus was so involved with the St. Jude Memphis Marathon weekend, and it gave me an opportunity to participate even more and really kind of get involved. I'm a glutton for punishment. I not only work on this event throughout the year, and even event weekend I'm working, but I also participate in the event. Notice I said participate. I did not say I run. I participate. I go across the start line and I go across the finish line, and the just times in there varies each year. But it's one of my most favorite weekends in Memphis. I am proud to be a part of it. I am proud to be a Memphian, especially that weekend, and just kind of be here for all that's going on. So there are different ways that you can help support the marathon, and we'll go into a few of those. But before we get too far into it, I want you to hear a little bit from Michael and let him tell you a little bit more about St. Jude and the work that they're doing, and that's going to make this weekend even a little bit more special when you have that connection to the hospital, and you know what you're doing is supporting what they're doing. It's just it's pretty awesome. So, Michael.
All right. Well, thank you, Katie, and thank you for all the work you do. It's amazing work that you do, and it impacts people every day all around the world. So, thank you. So, I'm Michael Heck. I'm a region sales director for the Southern region. I'm a native Memphian. That will become important as I go through my journey. I started with the juiceplus company 8 years ago, and it's been just an incredible journey with this company. It's a fantastic company. We inspire healthy living around the world, and I always like to tag onto that. We also inspire healthy giving around the world, which you heard from Katie through the juiceplus Foundation. And so imagine this. Think of a child, your child, grandchild, nephew, niece, a friend's child, somebody that you're close to. And think that if you can imagine thinking about that child and being given a diagnosis of that child, that this child now has a form of leukemia called AML, leukemia, and you're just hit with that diagnosis. What would you think? How would you feel? There'd be a lot of things that would go through your head. There'd be, what do I need to do? I don't even know about leukemia. What is leukemia? How do you treat this? Another thing that would go through your mind would be, how would I pay for this? So that's a little bit of the story that I found myself in, my wife and I, Sylvia, and I found ourselves in October of 2002, which I need to look up, but I think coincidentally is the first year that juiceplus sponsored the St. Jude Marathon. So our oldest son, we had 2 boys at the time. My wife Sylvia was pregnant with our third, and we had left actually to go to Chicago. I was going to run the Chicago Marathon with a friend. We'd left to go to Chicago for the weekend to run the marathon, and my sister-in-law was going to stay with our 2 boys and take care of them while we were gone. And so we left. My oldest son, Walker, before we left, complained about having a sore throat and just not feeling great. But he was 2.5 at the time, or 3.5, excuse me, 3.5 at the time, and he was typical 3.5-year-old running around the house, jumping off the couch, doing things that little boys do. And so we just thought he had the kid crud. We asked my sister-in-law to take him to the pediatrician the next morning, and we took off. Well, we got a call when we were in Chicago that he was diagnosed with leukemia and that he was on his way to St. Jude's. So we immediately turned around and came home and found out that he was diagnosed with a form of leukemia called AML leukemia. And so, again, what would go through your head? Think about that child that you so love. What would go through your head if that child was diagnosed with this disease that you probably don't know much about? One of those things, again, would be how would we pay for this? So part of our journey here was Walker was diagnosed. Very next morning, he had surgery, chemotherapy, and did actually, through that treatment, did very, very well. A year later, he relapsed. So that meant he had to come back, more surgery, stronger chemotherapy, total body irradiation, and a bone marrow transplant. His little brother was the donor for that bone marrow transplant. He did very, very well. A year later, he relapsed again, had more surgery, even stronger chemotherapy, and then I was his second bone marrow transplant. He did well with that, and then about a month and a half out, he relapsed again, went through more chemotherapy, and then I was his third bone marrow transplant. So we went through 3 bone marrow transplants along with all the surgeries, along with the chemotherapy and all the therapies that go with it. And we never saw a bill. And that's only because everything that all of you do out there, when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to donations, there's not a family that goes through the St. Jude experience or journey that ever gets a bill. So thank you. You've impacted my life. You've impacted my wife, Sylvia, and our family's lives. And you never knew that. So when you participate in the St. Jude Memphis Marathon, by donating, you're touching people's lives all over the world. St. Jude treats patients from all over the world, and this doesn't matter about the ability or inability to pay. They provide travel for families because they want families to stay together. They provide housing. They provide meals. They provide whatever that family needs to have, so they can concentrate and focus on getting their child well. But again, that's done because of you. So I thank you. My family thanks you for your participation in the marathon and the race and your donations, because you have touched our lives. We've done fundraising. You know, it's fundraising can be done just with family, with friends. You can go out and knock on doors. But I encourage you to fundraise, because without the fundraising, you know, St. Jude can't keep the doors open. It's every bit of it is done through fundraising. I estimate, I could be wrong, but I estimate our bill would have been over $3 million had we been given a bill. We've never seen a bill. So again, I can't say enough. Thank you. And I kind of laugh because when I go out and I talk about the marathon, it is a marathon, but it's also a 5K, a 10K, and a half. So everybody can participate in some form or fashion, and it's a great weekend. It is something that will move you for the rest of your life, because those races go through the St. Jude campus, and when you see those children waving at you, it will move you. So thank you for all that you do. Come join us always the first Saturday in December. So if you can't make it this year, there's more Saturdays, more Decembers coming up that you can make it. So plan on it. And Katie, where would they go to get registered, and how would they be a part of Team Juice Plus?
We'll drop a link in
Okay.
so that you can easily click on the link and be able to register, join the Juice Plus team, help us with our fundraising efforts, and just kind of supporting that weekend. Now, you mentioned the various races, so I'm glad that you brought that up. So for the runners that are out there, if you're already registered, like, give us a shout out. Let us know that you're already registered and what race you're running. I know we've already got some people that have hit their fundraising goal, their individual goals that they've set. So props to y'all for doing that, and the rest of you, me included. I'm gonna get on my fundraising and kind of beef that up a little bit through the next few weeks before the race. But let's talk about other ways to get involved. So there's the fundraising piece. You can support those of us who are running and are doing that fundraising. We'll gladly accept donations on our pages. But there are other things that you can do. We would love for you to come to Memphis and spend that weekend here in Memphis with us. juiceplus supports the race by also having a spirit station on the course roundabout mile marker 10. We've got kind of a booth, for lack of a better term, set up there. A lot of the corporate employees and friends and family will gather there, and you never know what you might find. It may be fruits and vegetables out there dancing around. We've had folks out there doing, leading the YMCA dances. What else has happened? There's been some, there's always something that is going on at the Spirit Station. It's always exciting.
It's fun, it's exciting. It's a great day to celebrate. So, great day to celebrate life and have a lot of fun. So, we encourage you to come in and be in the race or be on the side of the race, cheering everybody on. It's like I said, it's a great day to celebrate. Great day to celebrate life.
But if you can't come to Memphis, that doesn't get you off the hook. You can still participate. Just give us a shout and let us know that it's something that you're interested in. We are working with St. and Jude to come up with a little bit more formal participation outside of the city opportunities. But we do have some stuff out there. We would love for you to be a part of the juiceplus team and maybe run your race in your city where you are. We have had teams that have come in and they've kind of held their own fundraising event there within their city. They've had small little fundraisers and then contributed that money to the juiceplus team and their fundraising efforts. So there are definitely things out there. We're happy to get creative and help you be a part of the team no matter where you are. So we've got the various runs. Not a runner doesn't get you off the hook. We have ways for you to participate, whether that is through fundraising or just coming out and supporting us on the sidelines. And then the other piece is just general support for those who are running. You would be really surprised the difference that it can make for you just saying thank you to someone for what they're doing and encouraging them as they are training for their run, whether it's the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, the full marathon, whatever it may be. Just kind of leaning into those people and letting them know that you see what they're doing is definitely a big deal for a lot of us, especially those of us who really don't consider ourselves runners, but want to be involved in this race every year. Now, Michael, I know you have participated.
I have.
You have more than participated in my book in the past because you've actually ran the whole thing, not this run walk business, mostly walk that I do. So tell me a little bit about your participation in the event.
Well, I've participated in the full marathon and also in the half from years gone by, and now I've kind of passed that baton off. I used to run semi-competitively, ran lots of marathons and all that. I've passed that baton off to my son, not Walker, who is actually the St. Jude patient, but my second son, Kells. And Kells has run the half marathon on a number of occasions, and I'll never forget last year he didn't train, and he ran in about mile marker 7. I was on the course waiting for him, watching for him, and he came by and he was having a bad day. And he just smiled and said, "Dad, I'm just doing it for the kids at St. Jude. So come participate. It means a lot to everybody." And so I'm a competitive person. Katie, I think you're a little competitive. A little bit. So Katie.
Not when it comes to running a race.
In life. So tell us about Team juiceplus and what's happened there.
So we have a team, Team juiceplus. We pull together every year, and we have been on the move the last few years and kind of a force to be reckoned with as far as some of the other corporate teams for this event go. We've had anywhere from 100 to 150 people participate. We invite anyone who is the least bit interested to join our team. You don't have to be a fast runner, because I'm not. You don't have to be a runner at all, but we want those who are passionate about this weekend and about the cause that we're supporting to come out and get involved. So right now, I haven't looked at the roster in the last couple of weeks, but last time I looked, we were right at, I believe, 130 people who have already joined the team in various races. We've got people that are doing 5K, 10K, half, full. We've got a couple of kind of spirit runners that are out there that aren't actually able to lace up their shoes and, you know, feet to the pavement that day, but are still working hard and doing that fundraising. We were last year recognized for a few different accomplishments. Last year was the first ever national corporate challenge that St. Jude had put out, and we were the #1 team when it came to fundraising. So we snagged that #1 spot for the top fundraising team in that national corporate challenge, and hope to do that again this year. Those who participated last year were super excited and very motivated, and as soon as we started talking about the event for this year, everybody was like, take that goal higher, take that goal higher. We can do more. So this year we have set a goal of $150,000 that we plan to raise for St. Jude. There are a couple of our other corporate teams that have their eye on us and have been plotting and trying to figure out how to strategically knock us off of our pedestal. But we've got a dedicated group that I think can absolutely just pull through and help us hit that goal. There are some incentives that are out there that we're offering to the team. We want to help you when it comes to fundraising, and that's where the juiceplus Foundation is happy to come in and help support the team and make donations to those of us who are out there trying hard to hit those goals. So more details on that will be coming soon. I'm excited to kind of get that plan finalized and give us a good gauge for where we are when it comes to the fundraising so that we can keep that top spot. Another thing that I'm proud of about the team is we have a 100% participation rate when it comes to the fundraising piece of it. So everybody on our team, they do something. They raise some amount of money, and you know what? It may be a $20 donation that they make themselves. They may not actively go out, but everybody that participates on Team juiceplus is a fundraiser, and so that's huge. There are some teams that, you know, aren't able to kind of make that claim. So that's one thing I'm proud of, that our team is involved and doing their part and the best that they can. We've been recognized for, I'm trying to think some of the other stuff, just the average team donation. We've got great numbers there. We've got about 3 or 4 different categories where we were recognized within the top 5 spots for last year's event. So I haven't seen the category breakdown yet for what they're looking for the event coming up in a few weeks, but I have no doubt that we can hold on to some of those top spots, and we can definitely do that if you guys will help us. So be sure to check out the link that we post so that you can join the team if you are interested. Reach out to us if you have questions about how to get registered or ways to get involved. We definitely want to have you as part of our team and help us reach the goals that we have set. And for those of you that it may just be a little bit too soon this year, Michael already said first Saturday in December every year. So go ahead and mark your calendar for next year and find out how you can get involved in, if at all possible, get here to Memphis that weekend to participate, even if it is just in supporting the team and those who are running, and honestly in supporting St. Jude. It takes a lot of volunteers to make that weekend happen, and they are always looking for extra hands that are available that weekend to support the event. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and there are a lot of ways to get involved. For those of you who may not be aware of the just kind of timeline of things, at the first part of the year, St. Jude will open up a special registration period, and they will allow people to go ahead and register and make a fundraising commitment. And they usually have those in different levels. I always call it their VIP Hero registration. And I think actually the program used to be called VIP Heroes. It may be something different now, but you basically commit to a certain fundraising level from the very beginning. That gets you in secured into the race that you want, because this is a very popular event. A lot of times the races will sell out. So being able to go ahead and kind of pre-register before registration opens and making that fundraising commitment when you know you're going to hit it, they give you some perks along the way. So I'm actually wearing one of the perks, which is my St. Jude Hero training shirt. That I think I got this one last year. But there are a few other incentives that they put in.
The spaghetti dinner.
The spaghetti. You can get their pasta dinner, I believe is what they call it. Tickets to that, which is the night before the race. They do hotel rooms at certain levels. If you hit a certain level of fundraising, then you can get a free hotel room, which is huge. Just getting a hotel room, period, is huge that weekend, because there's just so many people. This race, we have over 20,000 people registered to participate in the race. And in most cases, those people are, people bring in friends and family with them. So there's, I don't know where everybody stays, because there aren't that many hotel rooms in Memphis, but I know that we have friends and family that come in and stay at the house, and so people are just everywhere. It's a busy weekend in Memphis. So getting that early registration and qualifying for that free hotel room is definitely one of the bigger perks. And then there's all the swag, the gear and stuff that you get. As a hero, as a fundraiser, you're going to receive a special Heroes bib or jersey. This year, I don't know if you've seen, I actually got my Heroes bib in a couple of weeks ago, and I should have brought it in to show to you guys, but it's a t-shirt rather than the tank top.
Oh, right. I didn't see that.
So that was something that was new for this year that I like. I also feel very proud that I am a St. Jude hero. It's definitely something that is distinguishable on the course for those who wear them. So I hope you're as excited as we are. Plan for it, prepare for it, train for it, fundraise for it, all of those things. It really is a great weekend, and I'm proud to be a part of all of the great things that are happening with the juiceplus Foundation as a whole. I know tonight we talked a lot about St. Jude, and I thank you for kind of sidekicking this with me and telling your personal story and involvement. I know that that's sometimes not the easiest thing to talk about, but at the same time, there are so many people that need to hear that story and better understand that those little things do make such a big impact. So thank you for that, and thank you guys for participating and getting involved with what we're doing. We will do this more. We will get you more information on the juiceplus Foundation and our various partners in the year to come. But in the meantime, be sure and check them out on social media. Go out there, follow them, take a look at what they're doing. We've got Volunteers of America, Children's Hunger Fund, the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Green Bronx Machine. So take a look and keep up with what they've got going on, and be ready to learn more about the juiceplus Foundation. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.